Hey guys, I'm really excited about today's topic of discussion. We are going to talk about sugaring, sugar waxing, I don't know what other terms there are for it, but this is actually a really old form of waxing. It's been around for ages now, but I think it kind of became a little bit more popular, a little more trendy in recent years. And when I kind of learned about how you can actually DIY it and do it yourself, I went crazy. I've been experimenting with it, just really kind of playing around with it, trial and error, trying to figure out kind of like troubleshooting tips that I can share with you guys too, because it is challenging to make the paste. It takes practice to do the technique of waxing with it. There are actually two different kind of consistencies you can work with. So there's the paste where, you know, you literally just have this paste and you wax with that, and then there's kind of the more gel, like thinner consistency where you spread it wherever, you know, maybe your legs or wherever you're gonna wax, and then use strips, like kind of like more traditional waxing. Except the difference between this and traditional waxing is that with waxing, when you remove the strip, you actually remove the top layer of your skin too, and that's why it hurts so much, and it's just not as safe or good as sugaring, because with sugaring it just removes the hair. So here I am just getting so excited, thinking to myself, okay, I have to try this because I'm sick of my leg hair. I want to wax my legs. I don't really want to go get them waxed because of, you know, what I just mentioned, and because it would be costly. You can go and pay to get yourself professionally sugared, sugar waxed as well, but I still don't want to do that. I'm thinking to myself, if I can do this myself, I'm gonna figure out a way, and I did. This is actually from yesterday. I made it yesterday. I stored it in the fridge. You can store it in the fridge, and it lasts, like it's just perfectly fine. Think of it like candy, you know? It's not gonna really go bad or anything, but it is also edible. It's delicious. So before I get into how you make it and everything, because there are a ton of tutorials, ton of recipes on how to make this out there, I just wanted to talk about a few things real quick. Before you make it, just keep in mind it gets really hot. I've burned myself twice, so please be careful because I just don't want any of you guys to hurt yourself. It also is a great idea to start off small. So when I started, I used like 2 cups of sugar this time around, but when I started I only did 1 cup of sugar. I just started smaller, cut the recipe in half, and I started by sugar waxing the hair off of my fingers, which was a lot of fun. But it really helps to just practice the technique and understand like how it works the best. If you find that getting the paste to the right consistency is just way too hard, do try it with strips. I find that using some kind of strip that doesn't stretch easily, like, you know, cotton fabric, just anything that doesn't stretch too much. Some people use t-shirts. I think those like t-shirts that doesn't stretch too easily, that would work. You can use like an old one, just cut up strips and use that. Another thing is when you first start practicing, don't get obsessive like I did, because you will bruise your legs or bruise wherever you're waxing. I did bruise a couple parts of my legs. It took some time for those like green purpley spots to go away, but they did go away, so nothing to be like, you know, totally terrified about. But yeah, just be very careful and do practice. If you don't get the hair off in certain places right away, and you're just try not to like go over that section more than 3 or 4 times, because you will be likely to bruise yourself or just irritate your skin. Before you begin, I want to stress the importance of using a pan or whatever you're going to cook the mixture in that has a thick bottom, because I really would hate for you guys to burn your sugar paste. So just the thicker the bottom is, the better. The recipe I use is 2 cups of sugar, lime juice. Nope, don't put the lime in. A lot of recipes tell you to do a 1/4 cup. It didn't reach a 1/4 cup, which is perfectly fine. Just gonna use that. And then a 1/4 cup of water, and then a dash of salt. So we're just going to put it on medium-high heat. I have my heat go like up notches to 9, so I put it in between 6 and 7, I believe. So I just kept it at that constant heat, and then I, you know, just stirred the sugar solution. About 5-6 minutes in, that's when it'll start to bubble, and then after some time it will really start to bubble, as you can see, like this frothiness here. So you just continue to keep stirring it, and I believe I took it off the heat after about 14 maybe at most 15 minutes, if I want to say 13-14 minutes, just to be on the safe side, and you'll see that it turns into this like deep amber color. Let it sit for a little while before I poured it into a jar. You can pour it into a mason jar, just something that's really gonna stand up to heat well, because you're gonna end up reheating this again later to reuse it, obviously. So now at this point, you're probably really excited to use it. Please, whatever you do, do not touch the wax, okay? It's gonna take at least like 2 hours or so for that whole thing to cool down, so don't touch that. But if you are impatient like me, and I am very impatient because I want to wax my legs right away, what you can do is take a ceramic bowl or even like a baking pan, just something that, you know, you can pour a little bit out onto. What you want to do is just wet it a little bit, so I just put a little bit of water into the ceramic bowl and just wet it a little bit before I poured enough amount of that sugaring paste into there. Then I took my spoon and I sort of just kept scooping around the edges to get some air into there. That's what's going to help it cool down, right? So I'm just letting it, you know, just kind of doing that, and you'll notice that it'll start to thicken up, which is good because this paste needs to be the right consistency before you use it. So I thought, okay, let me test it out and see if it is the right consistency. So I started playing around with it with my hands. You want to knead it, see if you can form it into a ball, and I found that I couldn't do that. It was still too sticky. One, either it's too sticky because it might be a little underdone, or two, because it's just still so warm, and if there's a lot of moisture in the air, it's just not gonna like harden enough for you to roll it. Does that make sense? So what I did from there on, because you don't give up, this is a troubleshooting tip right here, I put it into the microwave and heated it up in about 10-second intervals, because if you think about it, you're just continuing to cook it. And so I did that until it was really almost like liquidy again, and then I repeated that process of scooping it until it hardened and cooled down again. After that, I could tell that it was the right consistency now for me to use. So let's get into actual showing you how to use it. You're gonna spread it against the direction of hair growth, and you want to go slowly, because if you go too quickly, you're gonna feel like your hair being pulled and it might be kind of painful. So pull very, very slowly. And I'm just kind of doing it in about 2-3 sweeps here before I yank in the other direction. So when you flick your wrist, you do it in the direction your hair grows, and you can do it in about 2 to 3, you know, yanks. You don't have to do it in just one whole yank. So that's actually, I think it's better to do it in a few yanks. I feel like you get more hair out that way. So that's basically how you do it. Hair does grow in different directions sometimes, so you might want to like not keep doing it in the same direction. And then if there's maybe one stubborn hair you're trying to target, really just kind of, you know, go around that area and then pull it, you know, do a good flick of that wrist, and then you'll see that it should come out. And you'll see that the hair does come out at the root, which is exactly what you want. Yes, you can store this. When you want to heat it up, you can either do it in like a water bath, so you want to put it into a pot with really hot water, even go with boiling water, and then put your jar right into it. Or what I think is just easier is I put it into the microwave and then I just heat it up in about, you know, 10-15 second intervals, and it's good. And earlier it was still really liquidy and hot, but now you can see, like after you just let it cool down, it's a great consistency. Basically, when you're playing with this and you're like kind of stretching it out, the more you see like that ribbon of color throughout of it, you know, kind of like when you're playing with candy. I don't know, it's not like I played with candy like that before, but it's gonna look like candy. The better that consistency is. If you're still finding that your mixture is still like too hard, that's another thing. If it's too hard, what you can do is put like maybe a couple drops of water in. Don't do too much water, just maybe put a little bit of water in and then heat it up in the microwave 10-15 seconds, because you don't want to like burn it. And that should really help the consistency. Like don't give up on the paste. You probably will still be able to work with it. So don't feel like you just wasted 2 cups of sugar, okay? And please just, you know, keep practicing. My legs, I'm so happy with the way my legs are right now. When I was doing it, I noticed like there were some hair that was just stubborn, and it might not give you the cleanest wax like the first or second time. What I just showed you was the second time me waxing my legs. It might not be the cleanest then, but hair does grow in waves, so in the third wave, I'm gonna let my hair grow out and then wax it again. And I think it's just really, really gonna be worth all this effort. I'm gonna be totally happy because I am a one hairy person. If you guys didn't already know, if you didn't watch my epilating videos, I am a very hairy person, so I'm really, really, really happy about this technique. Try it out, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach me anywhere, Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram. Just reach out to me if you have any questions. Comment down below. And that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Most likely for the Fit Me Matte and Poreless review, because you definitely want to keep an eye out for that. Alright? Okay, bye.